7 signs that you're getting closer to 10% body fat. Sean here from Fit Fusion Brotherhood, and if it's cutting season for you, one of the biggest goals that a lot of guys set for themselves is kind of hitting that 10% body fat range. It's something that a lot of guys go for, but very few guys can actually achieve. So this video isn't about what to do in order to lose body fat. We got plenty of those. This video isn't about what it actually looks like once you're at 10% body fat, because trust me, you'll know. This video is all about knowing whether or not you're on the right path, if you're progressing towards that level. So I got 7 different signs that you're on the right track and moving towards 10% body fat. Number 1, expect to get a lot of compliments from strangers. So if you're suddenly getting a bunch of compliments from random people or even people you know, it's probably a telltale sign that you are progressing towards your goal. One of the things that I've noticed is that people don't really tell you when you gain weight, but they can't help but tell you once you're losing weight and progressing towards that goal. And this can be super helpful because we have a weird way of kind of gaslighting ourselves into not thinking we're progressing because we see ourselves in the mirror every single day. And all of a sudden you're going to start to get these compliments and just reinforces the notion that you are doing the right things. Now, I'm not talking about one random compliment. I'm talking about several compliments from different people. That's a telltale sign that you're moving towards that 10% body fat. Number 2, and this is a big one because for a lot of guys, this is the last thing to go. And that's when you start to lose that stubborn belly fat in the lower stomach area. So typically this is right below the belly button, and for a lot of guys it's the last thing to go, and a lot of guys will go their entire lives and not be able to lose that. So if you suddenly find yourself with that lower body fat, the belly fat gone, then you're either super close to 10% body fat or you might already be there, because that's one of the last areas and the most tricky areas to go. So if you've been fighting for months or years with that stubborn belly fat, don't despair. You might not be at your goals yet. You might think that it's never going to go down or you're never going to lose it. It just might be the very last thing to go. The good news is if you are noticing a change in that area, you're getting really close. Number 3 is a bit of a surprise, and it does seem counterintuitive, but eventually what ends up happening is your hunger and your energy levels begin to stabilize. This is counterintuitive because the entire premise of fat loss is having to deal with hunger, having to deal with low energy, and you've probably had to fight through this for months. And you get to a point where if you can fight through it for long enough, eventually your body gets used to it, and it sets a new quote unquote set point where it's kind of comfortable with that lower body fat percentage. Now, once you get down to 10% lower, you're going to have to go through that even more, but eventually you will settle into it and feel good. So if you're noticing that the cravings are gone, that your energy is actually pretty good, that's a telltale sign that you're moving in the right direction. Number 4, this one for me is huge, and I see it again with other guys just over and over and over again, and that is getting a leaner face and a more prominent jawline. So for me, I naturally have a fat face, so it's one of the last things to go. Anytime I notice my face getting leaner, I know that I'm moving towards my goal. I know that I'm getting closer to that 10% mark, and for most guys, it's going to be the exact same situation. You're not going to find many guys at 10% body fat with a double chin. So if you notice that your face is getting leaner, it's a good sign. Number 5, you're wearing smaller clothes, but your performance at the gym is actually improving. Like I mentioned earlier, once your body gets used to that new set point, you're going to feel a lot better. And this is a couple reasons it's going to help you out. That new set point gives you that familiarity where you're not feeling hungry or low energy, but also, especially when you're between like the 12 to 16% body fat range, where you're not super lean, but you're also not carrying a bunch of extra body fat. This is when your hormones are going to start to optimize a lot more efficiently. So testosterone is going to be surging through, and you're going to notice this at the gym. So even though your clothes are smaller, your strength is going to be as good, if not getting better. Number 6, veins. So expect to get a lot more vascular as you get to that super lean point. And vascularity is very genetic. Some people are just naturally more vascular than others. I know some guys in 25, 30, 35% body fat that have veins popping out, and some guys around 15 that really don't have a lot. But once you get close to that 10% body fat, there's no hiding it. Those veins are going to be popping out for sure. And because it is genetic, this might be a different order for every single guy. It might be prominent more for some than others, but those veins will pop out. For me, the first ones to show will be from biceps, then it goes shoulders, then it goes like lower stomach, And then once I'm around that 10 to 12% range, I start getting veins coming up through my abs. And that's when I know I'm at 10% body fat. So same as you, if you can start to notice those veins really popping out a lot more, that's a good sign. Number 7, last one, and you don't need me to tell you this. This is probably the reason why you want to get down to 10%, but you're going to have a six-pack at this point. Just like I talked about with vascularity, abs are very genetic. You might have different looking abs than other guys. They might not be perfectly blocky. You might only be able to get 6 while some guys can get 8. Yours might not be as visible, but either way, once you get down to 10%, you're going to have very visible abs. For most guys, you're going to start to notice a pretty good six-pack around the 12% range. Now, I'm not talking about when you're 20% and you can kind of see the outline, the top two. I'm talking about really seeing those abs pop. And the more definition you start to see from your abs, obviously the closer you are to 10% body fat. It's almost impossible to get down to 10% body fat and not have very visible abs. So number 7, and probably the most obvious one, is just getting those visible abs. So there you have it. Those are 7 signs that you're getting closer to 10% body fat. In a perfect world, you check them all off, but realistically, you might have 1, 2, or a few going for you. And if you're feeling lost, remember to check out some of the older videos explaining how to get lean, but hopefully cutting season's going well for you. If you do enjoy these type of videos, do us a huge favor, please like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next one.